Do you smoke? Right now, there are about 1.3 billion smokers worldwide. And every single day, people smoke nearly 15 billion cigarettes. So how did it get this big? It's not just that people can't quit. There's also huge tax revenue for governments. And this habit has been around for hundreds of years. Today, we're going to talk about the history of cigarettes, how they're made, the money behind them, and of course, the dangers they bring. When it comes to the history of smoking, we really have to go thousands of years back. Back then, Native Americans were already growing tobacco. They didn't have any fancy processing. They just dried the leaves, rolled them up, and smoked. But for them, it wasn't just entertainment. It was a religious ritual, used to ward off evil and pray for blessings. Maybe because it made them feel a little high. They believed it helped them communicate with the spirits. Fast forward to 1492, when Christopher Columbus discovered the New World. He also saw the locals smoking tobacco. In the history of the Indies, it's written, "As we traveled, we could see people everywhere, men and women, holding burning coals and dried leaves, walking and smoking while enjoying the aroma." When Columbus left, his crew got a precious gift: tobacco seeds and dried leaves. From that moment on, these seeds traveled across the seas and started growing all over the world. By the mid-16th century, tobacco became popular in Europe, especially in France, Spain, and Portugal. British colonial officers started planting it on a large scale and trading it. Back then, nobles loved smoking pipes, and smoking was considered a status symbol. By the 17th century, tobacco had spread to Asia, China, Japan, and India. Most people smoked using water pipes or dry pipes. Even today, in some rural areas, older folks still smoke this way. In the 18th century, cigars became fashionable in Europe, especially in Spain and Cuba. They were a luxury item for the upper class. By the mid-19th century, people in Turkey and Egypt started rolling tobacco in paper. It was quick, convenient, and soon spread to Europe. In 1880, an American named James Bonsack invented the world's first cigarette rolling machine. It could make hundreds of cigarettes per minute. That's when cigarettes went fully industrial, became cheap, and suddenly everyone could afford them. In the early 20th century, cigarettes went global. During both world wars, soldiers almost always had a pack, and tobacco companies even supplied them for free. That's when cigarettes really entered everyday life. By the late 20th century, research started showing that smoking is linked to lung cancer, heart disease, and more. Governments started putting warning labels on packs, but by then, cigarettes had already dominated the market. Today, tobacco companies operate on a massive scale. Because tobacco seeds are tiny, like dust, they're first cultivated and then transplanted. When the leaves grow, they're ready to be harvested. At this stage, the leaves already contain nicotine, which is what makes cigarettes addictive. Modern production focuses on efficiency. Instead of drying leaves naturally, they're baked. During this process, the sugars and proteins in the leaves change, creating that familiar smoky aroma, but also forming tar precursors, which are harmful to your lungs. The baked leaves are then fermented. Fermentation makes the flavor milder, less harsh, but it also produces nitrosamines, which are known carcinogens. Next, the leaves are graded by color and aroma. Some go into premium cigarettes, others into regular ones. So even if you buy different brands or grades, they may come from the same batch of tobacco. The leaves are then deveined and shredded. When burned, these cigarette strands release carbon monoxide. You know this stuff. It's one of the main causes of poisoning. It's also what makes secondhand smoke so dangerous. Non-smokers exposed to it have less oxygen in their blood and can feel short of breath. Different regions have secret blends for their tobacco, like perfume formulas. Some even add flavors and additives, especially in mid to high-end brands. This makes the smoke smoother, but also increases the harm when burned. So don't envy someone smoking a premium cigarette. They're just paying more for more damage. After rolling machines wrap the tobacco and attach filters, the cigarette looks clean and neat, but it already contains hundreds of chemical compounds. Finally, they're packed, stamped with taxes, and sent to stores, until it ends up in your hands. Nowadays, cigarettes are seen as a way to relax, stay alert, or socialize. But at the same time, nicotine keeps you hooked. Tar damages your lungs. Nitrosamines cause cancer. Carbon monoxide harms not just you, but everyone around. So some might ask, If cigarettes are so harmful, why not just ban them? Think about it. Cigarette taxes make up more than 7% of total revenue in many countries. It's a huge, long-term source of income. If governments tried to ban cigarettes outright, smokers would protest, maybe even riot. A black market would pop up. In the end, people would be angry, tax revenue would disappear, and governments would have to spend more to control the black market. It's just not worth it. So, whether state-run or private, cigarettes are always under government control. And what about smokers themselves? Buying cigarettes is basically paying taxes. If they get sick, they pay for medical care too. According to the World Health Organization, about 8 million people die from smoking every year, including secondhand smoke victims. A third of those deaths are from cancer. Roughly 3 million people die of smoking-related cancer each year, which means more than 8,000 people die every single day. And that's a conservative estimate, since some countries don't even track the data. In the end, you can't help but wonder, why do people keep spending money to hurt themselves? Is it really impossible to quit? If you smoke, have you ever asked yourself, can I quit?